Broadcasting live from the Riddicks via OBS Studio Broadcast Center at Fordyce Center in Antioch. This is GNASH Hockey on the Middle Tennessee Sports Network as we say welcome to opening night of the 2024 GNASH postseason. Settle in because we've got a Preds Cup, Hein Cup doubleheader for you, and it's going late into the evening. First up, it is the 4-5 showdown in the Preds Cup, and wouldn't you know it, the two primary contenders for the GNASH Cup, Franklin and MBA, are clashing in the first game of the Predators Cup. Franklin, the runners-up, the 5 seed. MBA, the GNASH Cup winners, the 4. And then at 9:15, it's the 3-6 game in the Henry Hein Cup. 6-seeded Station Camp Liberty Creek taking on 3-seeded Outlaws. The Outlaws have struggled with Station Camp. The first game between them ended in a 5-5 tie back in October. The Outlaws scored the tying goal with just 17 seconds left. And then a week ago Monday, Station Camp beat the Outlaws 5-3. We'll talk more about that game once it comes around the corner. Zamboni out of the ice, got just a couple more lanes to wash over. And then both teams should be ready to head out onto the ice for the 3-minute warm-up. Let's go over the results of Monday's games, the final day of play in the 2023-2024 GNASH regular season. Tennessee Outlaws beat Brentwood 5-4. USNBA Nashville Christian FRA Goodpasture playing for the first time since December 6th. Yeah, this 6-3 win over Hendersonville Beach Gallatin was their last game of the regular season. It was like they weren't away for almost 2 months. Centennial beat Independence Ravenwood 8-2. MBA and Father Ryan ended in a 2-2 tie. That was good enough to get MBA the GNASH Cup by just 1 point over Franklin, 21-20. And Pope Prep MLK GCA beat Mount Juliet Wilson Central Green Hill 2-1. So those two teams meet on the first day of the regular season back on September 25th, and then they meet on the final night of the regular season on Monday, and both games into the same score, Pope winning both meetings 2-1. So the final standings for the second half of the regular season look like this. Summit Page finished first in Tier 1 with a record of 5-2. Ensworth Nolensville Lipscomb second at 4-2-1. Pope Prep MLK GCA finished third at 4-3. MBA finished fourth at 2-1-4. Franklin and Father Ryan both finished at 3-3-1, but Franklin were placed ahead of Father Ryan because, of course, they beat them back on November 15th. Mount Juliet Wilson Central Green Hill went 2-4-1. They went 2-4-1 in both halves of the regular season, and Ravenwood finished 8th at 1-6. Tier 2, Rutherford Rampage finished first at 6-1. Centennial second at 5-2. The Outlaws and USNBA Nashville Christian FRA Goodpasture both finished 4-3, but the Outlaws beat USN, so they were placed ahead of them in the head-to-head. Brentwood finished fifth at 3-3-1. Station Camp Liberty Creek in sixth at 3-4. Hendersonville Beach Gallatin seventh at 2-4-1, and Independence Ravenwood 2 finished in eighth at 0-7. The final GNASH Cup standings: MBA won the GNASH Cup with 21 points from 8 wins, 1 loss, and 5 ties. Franklin finished second with 20 points from 9 wins, 3 losses, and 2 ties. Pope finished third at 7-7. Father Ryan fourth at 6-7-1. Mount Juliet fifth at 4-8-2. And Ravenwood finished fourth at 4-10. Of course, Brentwood and Rutherford couldn't win it because they went into Tier 2 at the halfway point of the regular season. And Summit and Ensworth couldn't win it because they started the regular season in Tier 2. Here is the schedule for tonight. First game of the postseason should be well underway by now. The 1-8 game in the Hein Cup over on Rink A at Centennial. Indy taking on Rutherford. That game should have gotten started at 7:10. Coming up in a few minutes here on the North Ring in Antioch, Franklin taking on MBA in the Preds Cup 4-5 game. 8:30 on Rink B at Centennial. The 2-7 game in the Hein Cup, Hendersonville Beach Gallatin taking on Centennial. 8:40 on Rink A at Centennial, the 4-5 game in the Hein Cup, Brentwood taking on USN. And then at 9:15 here on the North Ring in Antioch, the 3-6 game in the Hein Cup, Station Camp Liberty Creek taking on the Outlaws. We'll have that one for you pregame starting at 9:10. All right, both teams about to hit the ice for the 3-minute warm-up, so let's talk about them. First up, Franklin, coached by Todd Gross. Potentially the best season in the history of the program. Finished the first half of the regular season with 6 wins and 1 tie. Finished the second half at 3-3-1, 3 wins, 3 losses, and a tie. Missed out on the GNASH Cup by 1 point with 20 from 9 wins, 3 losses, and 2 ties. So let's go over their stats coming into tonight. The final regular season stats. Gavin Akers was the leading scorer. He had 19 points from 6 goals and 13 assists. McLean Butters, 17 points from 12 goals and 5 assists. Quinn Loesch, 12 points from 6 goals and 6 assists. Hudson Loesch, 10 points from 8 goals and 2 assists. Brandon Mills, 10 points from 5 goals and 5 assists. Cale Lewis, 9 points from 5 goals and 4 assists. Casper Thurston, 9 points from 3 goals and 6 assists. Hudson Richards, 7 points from 4 goals and 3 assists. Grant Hayes, 7 points from 3 goals and 4 assists. Owen McGroarty, 5 points from 2 goals and 3 assists. Aiden Murphy, 5 points from a goal and 4 assists. Will McCormick, 5 points all from assists. Quinn Spencer, 4 points all from assists. Cole Pointer, 3 points from 2 goals and an assist. Michael Mannion, 3 points from a goal and 2 assists. Hank Hayes with 2 points from a goal and an assist. Josh Yurievich, 2 points from assists. Houston Vale at a point from a goal. Chase Wagers and Grayson Butters each at a point from an assist. Moving on to goalie play, Grayson Butters played 9 games. His record 6-1-2. He played just shy of 376.5 minutes, goals against average of 1.67. 3 shutouts. He allowed 15 goals on 137 shots. Turned away the other 122. His save percentage in the regular season was 89. Chad Jansen played in 5 games. His record 3-2. He played just over 209.5 minutes. Goals against average of 2.40. 1 shutout. He allowed 12 goals on 90 shots. Turned away the other 78. His save percentage in the regular season was 87. On to NBA, coached by J.P. Dumont. They also went 6-0-1 in the first half of the regular season. 6 wins and a tie. In the second half, they went 2-4-1, 2 wins, a loss, and 4 ties. Won the GNASH Cup by 1 point over Franklin. He had 21 points from 8 wins, 1 loss, and 5 ties. And let's look at their final regular season stats. And the leading scorer, no surprise, was Lee Guy. He had 22 points from 13 goals and 9 assists. Trace Graham had 20 points from 10 goals and 10 assists, so an even split there. Matthew Moore, 15 points from 9 goals and 6 assists. Duke Dalba, 9 points from a goal and 8 assists. Ethan Moore, 6 points from 4 goals and 2 assists. James Lehrman, 6 points from 2 goals and 4 assists. Michael DeTillo, 5 points from a goal and 4 assists. Abe Lasher, 4 points from 3 goals and an assist. Andrew Fretch, 4 points from 2 goals and 2 assists. Edwin Bass, 4 points from assists. Ethan Sides, 3 points from 2 goals and an assist. Brandon Fremgen and Graham Rudder each had 2 points from assists. Hunter Musser had a point from a goal. Emmett Castile and Eli Stark each had a point from an assist. On to goalie play, Hunter Wick played in 13 of the 14 games. His record, 8 wins, no losses, 5 ties. He played 543 minutes. Goals against average of 1.86. No shutouts. Shockingly, he had no shutouts. He allowed 24 goals on 350 shots, turned away the other 326. His save percentage in the regular season was 93. Aiden Becker appeared in just 2 games. He played in the final 3 minutes of NBA's 3-0 win, or 8-3 win over Father Ryan back on October 20th. And then he started the first half of the 7-1 loss to Summit Page on December 4th. So he got a no decision in the Father Ryan game because it was decided by that point. But NBA never came back once he exited the net in the Summit Page game. So his record 0-1. He played just shy of 25 minutes. Goals against average of 5.07. No shutouts. He allowed 3 goals on 9 shots, turned away the other 6. His save percentage in the regular season was 67. Matt McCrary, who's normally a skater on the varsity team, was the backup goalie that night in the Summit Page game. He appeared in the final half, and since NBA never came back and won, it was a no decision, so he ends the year with no wins, no losses, no ties. Played just over 20 minutes, goals against average of 8.35, no shutouts. He allowed 4 goals on 12 shots, turned away the other 8, and his save percentage in the regular season was also 67. NBA and Franklin met twice in the regular season. October 23rd, they finished in a 1-1 tie. November 29th, they finished in a 2-2 tie. Tonight, it's a playoff game. Somebody's going to win. If we're tied at the end of 3, we go into overtime. Tomorrow we'll be back here over on the South Rink for the 1-8 game of the Predators Cup. Defending champs Ravenwood, who might not last very long in this one, taking on 1 seed Summit Page. The goaltending matchup should be no surprise. Hunter Wick in goal for MBA, Grayson Butters in goal for Franklin. Now, I am standing behind the net that Franklin are defending. It's the net closest to the lobby doors. I am standing behind and to the left of it. So the bleachers are the near side, the benches are the far side. For this first period, MBA will carry the puck towards me. Franklin will carry it away from me. It's playoff time in GNASH, opening game of the Predators Cup. The two GNASH Cup contenders duking it out for the bigger prize, which will be awarded 4 weeks from now. 4 weeks from now. Game was underway. Franklin won the draw, dumped it into the NBA zone. Immediately trying to clear it out of the Big Red, but Gavin Akers holds it in at the left point, carries it down the left wing wall. Trying to go out to the slot, gets off a shot from the left circle that's gloved and held on to by Hunter Wick, and that takes the first 21 seconds off the clock. Draw be to the right of Wick. Won by Franklin. Puck behind the net, now in the right wing corner, comes up to the right point. Cale Lewis with a not very hard shot that was blocked, then cleared out by Matthew Moore. Now puck brought into the Franklin zone in front, lead guy with a shot. And I think Grayson Butters got a piece of it. Puck came right in front, and there was the guy you don't want to see, but Grayson Butters stood tall and made the stop. As the puck is cleared out of play by Franklin from their own zone, or was it iced? I think it was iced. 13-15 left in the first, no goals on the board. But NBA got close. Draw is going to be to the left of Grayson Butters. Won by NBA, shot from the top of the right circle over the net. That was from Graham Rudder. Puck out at center. Franklin trying to steer it towards the NBA zone. Here's Gavin Akers whiffing on it. It ends up in his zone. Duke double with it. Right wing side. A shot turned away by Butters with a stick. Franklin clear it out. It's in the NBA zone on the left wing side. Immediately sent out of the zone by Graham Rudder. Gavin Akers with it. Chips it up the near side. Quinn Loesch played it offside. He went over the NBA blue line before the puck did. 12:33 left in the first. No goals on the board yet. But NBA have had a couple of pretty decent chances. Draws on the dot across from the NBA bench next to the bleachers. Right outside their zone. Big battle for the puck at center and ends up in the Franklin end. Josh Urievich trying to clear it out. Had Ethan Moore all over top of him. Passed it ahead to Brandon Mills. Now here's Hudson Richards. Or it's Aiden Murphy with it. Or is it Casper Thurston? I think it's Casper Thurston. Hard dump into the NBA zone. It's kind of hard to tell with a glass from all these puck marks on it. As the puck is brought back into the Franklin zone and shot wide to the left of Grayson Butters by Matthew Moore. Puck now back in the NBA zone. Michael DiTillo ends up, icing was waved off. One official put his hand in the air and then immediately waved off the icing, but then the other linesman said, no, it's icing. 11:45 left in the first, no goals on the board yet. Draws to the right of Hunter Wick. Franklin with it. Oh, but Quinn Spitzer couldn't keep it alive at the right point as it was passed up his way. It ends up back in the NBA zone. Josh Urievich immediately clears it out. Carried back the other way by McLean Butters, but he gives it away to Trace Graham right inside the NBA zone. Puck now back in the Franklin end on the far side. Josh Urievich trying to backhand it up the wall. Was out for a moment, brought back in by Lee Guy. Tried to drive it back to Trace Graham, drops it back to Butters. McLean Butters instead. Casper Thurston with it now on the near side of his own zone. Fires it up ice, trying to get a stretch pass to Hudson Richards, but that goes for an icing. 10:56 left in the first. Still no goals on the board. Draw's going to be to Butters left. One by the Big Red. Matthew Moore carries it around the back of the net, out to the left wing side. Got Gavin Akers trailing, and Akers almost took the puck off him. Moore with a shot that would have missed the net, but Cale Lewis blocked it with his stick. And the puck carried out by the Admirals. It's out near the NBA blue line, the Big Red with it. And Lee Guy took a hit at center. Was it Guy or was it? I think it was Ethan Moore. He's drawn a penalty. It was Ethan Moore who took the hit. And he's drawn a penalty. Interference. Who's in the box for Franklin? It is Will McCormick. Will McCormick in the box for Franklin. So 10:30 left in the first. No goals on the board. NBA get the first power play of the game. And Franklin win the draw and immediately clear it. So NBA will have to come back. Michael DiTillo. Left wing side of the Franklin zone. Stops near the wall. Whiffs on a pass attempt. Then he whiffed trying to get the puck back. Matthew Moore with it now. Trying to go to the slot. A shot across the front of the net and wide. Puck out at center on the near side. Trace Graham beats Hudson Richards to it. Graham inside his own zone. Got Richards all over him trying to take the puck away. Graham able to dump it back in the Franklin zone. Icing was waved off. Akers carrying the puck out towards Matthew Moore to chip it ahead to Grant Hayes. Hayes at center. Into the NBA zone on the left wing side. Puck now at the end boards. There's a battle for it. Lee Guy trying to dig it out. Big Red come up with it. Minute left in the power play for NBA. Here's Matthew Moore, left wing side of the Franklin zone, around the back of the net. Tried to leave it at the side of the net for Hunter Musser, who couldn't get a stick on it. Clearing attempt held into the left point. Trace Graham move it down the right wing. He held it into the right point, moved it down the right wing, and shot it past the net to the right of Grayson Butters. And a shot from the right circle, and Matthew Moore hit the post to the right of Butters. That close to going up 1-0 on Franklin. We're NBA. Quinn Loesch will fire the puck to the other end of the rink. Under 30 seconds left in the power play. It was the crossbar that Grayson Butters is petting, thanking. Under 30 seconds left in the power play for the Big Red. Actually, now it's down to 15. Puck back in the Franklin zone. Cole Pointer trying to clear, held into the left point by Abe Blasher. Puck put in front, but off the skates of Gavin Akers. And then a shot from the high slot, and Ethan Moore gloved and held onto by Butters. 3 seconds left in the power play, 8:33 to go in the first. Still no goals on the board, but boy, NBA almost took the lead just a few seconds ago. Matthew Moore clanking one off the crossbar from the right circle. Draw is going to be to the right of Grayson Butters. Puck comes towards him off the draw. He steers it away with a stick. It's behind the net. Andrew Fretch with it. Penalty time against Franklin is up. They're back at even strength. Duke Dalba keeping the puck in the zone, but he gives it away to Josh Jurjevic. Jurjevic banks it off the near boards. Puck out at center. Cole Pointer trying to fire it into the NBA zone. He has to drop it back to Jurjevic. Jurjevic passes across to Quinn Spencer. Spencer backing up towards his own net. Drops it back in his own right wing corner for Jurjevic. Jurjevic with it. Behind his own net, passes out to his left in Spencer. Now Jurjevic with it again. Backhands it off the kick plate, the far kick plate. Puck out at center. It's back in the Franklin zone immediately. Now Spencer. Carrying it through center, gets knocked off the puck by Ethan Moore. Puck back in the Franklin end, and a shot from Duke Dalba, gloved and held onto by Butters. It was from out high. 7:34 to go in the first, and still no goals on the board. But NBA getting many more chances than Franklin early on. Draw beat up Butters right. Franklin win it. Big tussle for the puck on the left half wall. Cole Pointer, and it poked away from his skates. Actually, it's Cale Lewis. And now it's passed ahead to Hudson Richards at center. Richards right wing side of the NBA zone. Taking a shot, stopped and covered up by Wick at his left-hand post. Just the second shot on goal of the game for the Admirals. The first shot came just 21 seconds into the game. Draw is going to be to the left of Wick. One by the Admirals. Slap shot from Cale Lewis at the right point was blocked. And puck flipped into the Franklin zone, but icing. James Lehrman was behind the red line when he did a dump flip, or a flip dump. Draw be to Wick's left again. One by Franklin and a shot right off the draw to be steered away by Wick. Puck ends up back in the Franklin zone. Gavin Akers tracks it down. Akers standing behind his own net. Steps out to the left. Fires it up in the near side. It's caught by Casper Thurston, left wing side of the NBA zone. Drops it back to McLean Butters, who couldn't get his stick on it. He dropped it right back to Butters, and it drifted past him. Butters would have had room to skate towards the front of the net. Big Red trying to get the puck out. They send it down ice back into the Franklin zone. It went off a couple of sticks on the way down, so icing waved off. Casper Thurston with it. Fires it across to the far side, trying to get it to Hudson Richards. And it's an icing. Ends up being an icing called against Franklin. 6:22 to go in the first. No goals on the board. Draw is going to be to Grayson Butters left. NBA win the draw and a shot from Lee Guy. Stopped by Butters. Rebound sent past the net by Graham. Puck behind the net. Graham with it again. Put out in front. Score. It's Guy. Never leave him alone in front of your net. It'll make you pay. And that's what he's done. Hammers it right into the back of the net on the bottom corner on the left-hand side. And it is 1-0 NBA with 6:09 to go in the first. Puck in the NBA zone. Cleared down ice by the Big Red. Gavin Akers standing behind his own net. Comes out with it. Passes up the far side towards Owen McGroarty. McGroarty trying to put it in front. Quinn Loesch with it on the left wing side. Whips it around the boards to the far side. Tapped away and back into the Franklin zone. Caught up to by Gavin Akers. Stretch pass up the near side. There's a shot from Quinn Loesch, stopped and held on to by Wick. 5:29 left in the first 1-0 NBA. Forgot to say the winner of this game will play the winner of tomorrow's Ravenwood Summit game next Wednesday in the winner's bracket semi. The loser will play the Ravenwood Summit loser Monday at 8:25 on the Chris Brink in Bellevue in the first elimination game of the tournament. Puck in the Franklin zone. They immediately clear it out. Brandon Mills brings it back into the NBA zone. His shot was blocked. Puck now in the Franklin end behind the net. Gavin Akers falls over, battling Matthew Moore with it, and then Moore kind of trips over. Puck comes out in front, but nobody in a white sweater there, luckily for everyone in the black sweaters. Here's Houston Vale carrying it through center. Back into the NBA zone. Round one defender. Carries it around the back of the net, trying to put it out in front. Held into the blue line by Cale Lewis. His shot blockered away from out high by Hunter Wick. Now the puck behind the net. Comes around to the right wing side. Will McCormick shooting from the right point, misses the net. Actually, no, they're saying Wick got a piece of it. Then he makes a save on a shot from Hank Hayes on the left wing boards. And NBA end up icing the puck. 4:05 to go in the first. 0-0 Big Red. By the end of play next Wednesday night, the Hein Cup will be down to 4 teams. They're eliminating 2 on Monday, 2 next Wednesday. The Preds Cup will be down to 6. They'll eliminate 1 on Monday, 1 next Wednesday. The Hein Cup will finish first for the Preds Cup, which is a good thing because I really hate when they play both finals on one night and one's at one rink and one's at the other. That makes me feel guilty, even though I'm not the one who sets the schedule. Draw to the left of Wick. Won by Franklin. Puck carried around the back of the net. And NBA take it away and end up icing it again. All 4 Hein Cup first round games are being played tonight. The first round Preds Cup game being played tonight, the second tomorrow, and then the other 2 are being played on Monday on the Chris Spring in Bellevue before the first elimination game between the loser of this game and the loser of Ravenwood Summit. Draw to the right of Wick, won by Franklin, and a shot on goal stopped and covered up. So the Admirals have kind of picked up the offense here since giving up the goal to the Big Red. Draw is to the right of Wick again. Won by NBA, and they clear it out. It's in the Admiral zone, trying to clear it up the boards. Held in, and it's Eli Stark who tried to fire it down the wall. It took a deflection and went right across the front of the net and wide. Big battle for the puck at the left point of the Franklin zone. Admiral's able to get it out, but Lee Guy with it at center. Sending it up the near side. Oh, and Ethan Sides got double to. Actually, it was Abe Lasher. Lee Guy is out there. Ethan Sides got taken into the boards by 2 Franklin players at once. Puck back in the NBA zone. Now cleared down ice, and it's coming towards the Admiral net, and Grayson Butters has to stop and cover. 2:45 to go in the first. Still 1-0 Big Red. Draws to Butters left. Won by Franklin. Hudson Richards chases the puck into the NBA zone around the back of the net. Trying to come out to the left wing side. Trying to come out to the slot. Lost the puck. Comes up to Gavin Akers at the left point. He kept it alive. Now it's behind the net. Put out front. Score! Richards! Richards standing near the right-hand side of the net. 1 times it in. Franklin's offense picked up after they surrendered the goal, and it results in a goal of their own. 1-1 with 2:20 to go in the first. Franklin win the draw but end up icing the puck. Draw to the left of Butters. Won by the Big Red. Shot from Brandon Fremgen. Off a stick over to the far boards. Puck out at center, Trace Graham. Dumps it back in. Puck behind the net, Cale Lewis. Trying to backhand it around the wall. Casper Thurston trying to pass it to McLean Butters. It's intercepted. Brought back into the Franklin zone by Andrew Fretch. Dumps it to the end boards. Gavin Akers sends it or maneuvers it around Graham. And now here is Thurston, left wing side of the NBA zone, trying to put it in front. It went off a stick. He's trying to get it to the slot, and Richards, I think it hit the stick of a sliding Graham Rudder. came to the front of the net, and Wick had to stop and cover. 93 seconds left in the first. Game is tied at 1. Draws to Wick's right. Draw one by NBA. They bring it into the Franklin zone. Ethan Moore past the slot. Matthew Moore shot right off the stick of Cale Lewis, who was practically hugging him. Now Mount Moore comes out in front of backhander, stopped by Butters, and then a shot from out high, score! Datillo! Michael Datillo with a shot that Butters didn't see until it was too late into the back of the net through his legs. NBA immediately retake the lead. 65 seconds after Franklin tied the game, it's 2-1 with 75 seconds to go in the first. Big tie up for the puck off the draw. It's in the NBA zone, fired around the wall. Now here comes Matthew Moore, left wing side of the Franklin zone. His shot off the stick of Josh Yurievich and over the net from the left circle. Quinn Loesch back the other way. Now Owen McGrady, right wing side of the NBA zone, a shot. Missed the net to the right of Wick. We're inside the final minute of the first. Puck back in the Franklin zone. Quinn Spencer immediately brings it out. It's back in the NBA end, taken away, I think, by Abe Lasher. Now it's back in the Franklin zone and would have gone past the net. Grayson Butters comes out, stops it, and covers just to be safe. 26.1 seconds to go in the first. It is 2-1 NBA. Draw's going to be to Butters' left. Franklin won it. NBA immediately put a stick on it. Gavin Akers behind his own net. Waiting, passes up the near side. Now it's Cole Pointer out at center. Still out at center ice. Franklin push it into the NBA zone. Time running out on the first. And that'll be it for the first. Well, Lee Guys scored the game's first goal with just over 5 minutes left in the period. Hudson Richards tied it up almost 3 minutes later, but then just 65 seconds after that, Michael Datillo scoring his second goal in as many games. He scored his first goal of the regular season on Monday night against Father Ryan and helped NBA win the GNASH Cup. His first goal of the postseason tonight puts them up 2-1 on Franklin at the end of one in the Preds Cup 4-5 game. Ready to go with the start of the second period. Grayson Butters still in goal for Franklin. Lee Guy still in, Hunter Wick still in goal for NBA. For this second period, Franklin will carry the puck towards me. NBA will carry it away from me. As NBA win the draw to start the second, puck is in their zone. They can't clear it out though. Brandon Mills with a steal. Puck put out in front. And Hunter Wick ends up scooping it off the ice with his glove. Lucky for him that Aiden Murphy was battling away with Brandon Fremgen for position, or Murphy would have had good position to maybe put it in. Takes just 10 seconds off the clock to start the second. Draw to the right of Wick. Puck going towards the boards. Picked up by Brandon Fremgen. Comes around to the near side. Andrew Fretch passing ahead to Trace Graham at center, but he fumbled it, and Cale Lewis going to bring it back the other way. Had to wait for his teammates to get back on side. He backhands it into the NBA zone. Puck comes around the wall to the far side. Trace Graham takes a hit from Owen McGrady. Sorry, it was, no, it was Murphy. NBA desperately trying to get the puck out, held in at the right point. Cale Lewis, this shot blocked by Lee Guy. Gets it back, takes another shot from an on angle on the right half wall, stopped and held on to by Wick. 13-11 to go in the second. 2-1, NBA. Draw is going to be to Wick's left. Won by NBA. Bringing it around the wall. Michael Detillo has the go-ahead goal. Cleared it out to center, but brought back in by McLean Butters. Puck out in front. Butters shot. Stopped by the right leg pad of Wick from right in front. Big point-blank leg pad save. Here's Duke Dalba carrying it out. Passes across Matthew Moore, right wing side of the Franklin zone. His shot off a stick into the netting above the glass. Hunter Wick having to make another big save. That puck pinballed all around, and it came right in front to McLean Butters, who was waiting. And Wick had to stretch out the right leg pad. Draws to the left of Grayson Butters. Franklin win it, send it into the NBA zone. It's near the right wing corner. Duke Dalba. Casper Thurston tried to drop it back. Brought out to center by Matthew Moore. Moore had a man jump on him, take the puck away. It's near the right wing corner now. Puck coming up the wall to the right wing side and brought out by Franklin. Hudson Richards past the red line, dumps it into the NBA zone. Casper Thurston trying to hand it off. McLean Butters shoots it past the net to the right of Wick from the right circle. Abe Lasher near side of his own zone. Passes ahead off the skates of Ethan Moore. Quinn Spencer couldn't keep the puck in his stick. It's out at center. Butters with it again. Passing it ahead. Quinn Loesch back in the NBA zone. Shot turned away by Wick. Loesch again. Up, couldn't find the puck in his skates. Had to go off his stick, and then he didn't see it. Lee Guy out at center. Backhands it into the Franklin zone. And Abe Lasher had the puck at the left point, but then he lost it. Now it's carried back. Nope, not into the NBA zone. Lasher came in and poked it away from Owen McGroarty. Lasher with it again as it jabbed off his stick by Butters, but it ends up in the Franklin zone anyway. And a shot from Andrew Fretcher to be turned away by Butters. Quinn Spencer, left wing side of the NBA zone, dumps it in, whipped around the boards and out up the near side by Abe Lasher, but it's going to go for an icing. No, they wave it off because it slowed way down and Gavin Akers was able to catch up to it. So play continues on. Akers maneuvering through center. Passing it over to Owen McGroarty, right wing side of the NBA zone. He whiffed on the shot attempt, and then he had the puck taken away by was it Graham or was it Lasher? I don't know. They're both out there. Andrew Fretch with it now. He gets knocked down on the left wing side of the Franklin zone, but he's drawn a penalty. He's drawn an elbowing call. Quinn Loesch will go to the box for elbowing. So NBA return to the power play up 2-1 with 10:29 to go in the second. Draw be to Butters right. It's won by NBA and a shot. Ooh, looked like it went just over the net from the stick of Matthew Moore on the left wing side. Puck ends up being cleared out. Hunter Wick in his own zone, leaves it for Michael Detillo. Detillo. Stretch pass up the near side to Trace Graham. Pass across to Matthew Moore, right wing side of the Franklin zone. Spins around and backhands it to the end boards. Puck behind the net. Comes around to the left wing side. Detillo. Passing it down low. It's intercepted and cleared out. Wick passes ahead to Trace Graham. Graham across to Detillo. Detillo brings it out of the zone. Back into the Franklin end on the left wing side. He had it poked off his stick. Puck down low. And cleared out by the Admirals again. Wilk will come all the way out in the right wing corner to play it. If this were the NHL, he'd be whistled for exiting the trapezoid. Under a minute left in the power play for the Big Red. There is a trapezoid here behind the net. The Predators do practice here. They got to be reminded about that thing. GNASH don't have to adhere to it, though. Puck back in the Franklin end on the left wing side. Shot from, I think it was Hunter Musser, was blocked. And now Franklin giving chase as it goes back into the NBA zone, but Blasher jumps in front of Brandon Mills and takes the puck away, but then Mills pushes him off, takes it away, gets off a shot that's turned away by Wick. Under 30 seconds left of the power play for the Big Red. 20 seconds to go to be exact. Mills out at center. Had the puck jabbed away. It's back in the Franklin zone, cleared out. Lasher. Backhanding it ahead to, I think it's Ethan Moore, brings it back into the Franklin zone. Shot, score! Moore with a shot that went across. I don't know what happened. It went across the face of Butters and ended up in the roof of the net. I think it may have gone off a stick. But NBA convert the power play with just 2 seconds left on it and take a 3-1 lead with 8:31 to go in the second. Wow. Oh, dear. Franklin were about to kill another, and then that happens. Here's a shot from Moore, Ethan Moore, that's over the net. Puck held into the blue line, Abe Lasher. Lasher, now Ethan Moore back in the NBA, or back in the Franklin zone, and it jabbed away. Out at center, brought back in, Moore on the left wing side, a shot. I think it may have missed the net. It's behind the net now. Franklin trying to clear, held in. Oh, James Lehrman couldn't keep it on his stick. Now he's chasing it over on the right wing side, sends it down low to the right wing corner. Held into the blue line. Zach Rankin, his shot blocked. Cleared out by the Admirals. McLean Butters, right wing side of the NBA zone, leaves it, and a shot from Casper Thurston was blocked by a shin. I think it was the shin of the back-checking Rankin. Here's Duke Dalba, right wing side of the Franklin zone, a shot turned away. Did it miss the net, or did Butters get a piece of it? I think it missed. They haven't put it up on the board. Back the other way come the Admirals. Thurston fires it around the wall to the far side. Puck comes up to the left point. Gavin Akers had it jabbed away. It's out at center. Akers double teamed. Manages to send it back into the NBA zone. He and Ethan Sides were tied up, and they're both going to go to the box. Sides had his stick. Sides had Akers' stick up against his body, squeezing it against the left side of his body with his left arm, so they're going to take them both. I'm not sure what the penalties are. The refs never gave a signal. It'll stay 5-on-5, 6:50 to go in the second. 3-1 NBA. Draw be to the left of Wick. Won by NBA. Puck sent around the boards to the far side. Trace Graham sends it into the Franklin zone deep. Caught up to by Cale Lewis before icing could ever be signaled. Here's Owen McGroarty, left wing side of the NBA zone. Lee Guy jumps in, takes the puck off him. Sends it up the near side. Picked up Trace Graham, left wing side of the Franklin zone. Trying to pass the slot. There's a shot from Matthew Moore. Sorry, it's Andrew Fretch. It's over the net. Puck in front. Guy a shot. Stopped and covered up by Butters. .6:13 left in the second. Still 3-1 NBA. Draw was to Butters' left. Puck is behind the net. Admirals clear it out. Here's Grant Hayes bringing it into the NBA zone. His shot blocked on the left wing side. Then he catches up to the puck in the right circle and gets off a shot that's stopped and covered up by Wick. 5:37 left in the second. Still 3-1 NBA. Indy and Rutherford tied at 1 after the second. Jeez, Rutherford, what's going on? Shot from out high from Quinn Spencer, stopped by Wick with a right leg pad. Back the other way goes Matthew Moore. Moore, right wing side of the NBA zone, or Franklin zone, knocked into the boards. And he's drawn a penalty. He's drawn an interference call. Quinn Spencer to the box for interference. So NBA back to the power play, up 3-1 with 5:23 to go in the second. Draw will be to Grayson Butters' left. Draw one by NBA, and Lee Guy scores immediately. Carried into the slot and fires it into the back of the net. Took him 4 seconds to convert. Took him 4 seconds to go up 4-1. Took 4 seconds for Guy to get his second of the night. 5:19 left in the second. Franklin win the draw. They've got it in the NBA zone, and a shot from McLean Butters went off a stick and passed the net to the right of Hunter Wick. Held in. Hudson Richards passes off. Shot past the net to the right of Wick by Casper Thurston. McLean Butters behind the net. Thurston put it out in front. Oh, and Will McCormick couldn't get a stick, and I think it rolled up his chest. Now here's Butters. Behind the net, comes out to the right wing side, passes up top to Cale Lewis. Lewis shot, stopped by Wick. Rebound out to the left circle. Emmett Castile knocked it away enough from Hudson Richards where he couldn't shoot it. Puck on the end boards. Here's Butters. Big battle for the puck of the right wing corner. Passed up to the right point, and Lewis wants to shoot, blocked it away by Butters. Puck behind the net, and it ends up on top of the bottom part of the net on the back. .410 left in the second. 4-1 NBA. Oh, wow. So it was Indy and Rutherford were tied at 1 after 2. Rutherford have scored 4 in the first 4 minutes of the third. They're up 5-1. Good Lord. Yeah, they were going to take the game eventually. NBA ended up icing the puck from their own zone. Draw me to the left of Wick. One by Franklin. Shot from Chase Wagers. Blocked it. Actually leaked through Matthew Moore, but Owen McGordy couldn't jump on it right away in the slot. McGordy in the left wing corner battling for it. Zach Rankin takes it away. Quinn Loesch put it out in front. NBA desperately trying to get it out. Oh, wow. Ethan Moore about took Quinn Spencer's head off trying to clear the puck out of the zone on a baseball type swing. Oh, and then it's nudged to the front of the net by Grant Hayes. As Gavin Akers was backing away from it, it was slow. Stopped and covered up by Wick. 3:26 to go in the second. Still 4-1 NBA. Draws to Wick's right. And NBA pushed the puck towards the Franklin zone. They end up going offside. Draw one at center by NBA. And iced. I think it was Graham Rudder who was standing behind the red line. Decided to dump it into the Franklin zone, but they call an icing. Draws to the right of Wick. Well, Franklin won it, but it's taken away by NBA and brought out. Admirals get it back in their own zone. Aiden Murphy. Passed ahead to Brandon Mills, but it went off his stick back into the NBA zone. Now Duke Dalba brings it into the Franklin end, but he has it poked away. Now here's Murphy, right wing side of the NBA zone, trying to go to the front of the net. Shot stopped by Wick. Rebound sitting under him. Cleared out by NBA. It's going to be on the Franklin goal, but somebody in a black sweater caught up to it before Grayson Butters could even touch it. Now here's Cole Pointer, right wing side of the NBA zone, trying to pass the slot to Thurston. That was broken up with a stick of Fremgen. Here's Lee Guy, right wing side of the Franklin zone. A shot stopped by Butters. Oh, and leaked behind him, but he managed to knock it away. It looked like it popped up off his blocker. Looked like it was going to roll down behind him into the back of the net. He swatted it away with a blocker. Wow. Guy almost had a hat trick by pure accident. Yeah, I totally meant for him to blocker it way up in the air and then deflect over his head and land behind him. Now he wants to do that in style. Oh, nice move. Gavin Akers shot. Hit the crossbar. Going to the front of the net from the right circle. Gavin Akers made some sweet moves getting to the front of the net, but he fires it off the bar. Now a turnover inside the Franklin zone, but Lee Guy couldn't keep his stick on the puck. It's in the right wing corner, behind the net. Put down low. Guy tried to put it in front. Now Andrew Fretch fires it across the front of the net. Here's Guy shooting it across the front of the net and missing as well. Puck put out in front off a stick. Picked up and carried out by the Admirals. Brandon Mills into the NBA zone. Whiffs on a shot attempt. Cortland Klett able to clear the puck. Actually, no, he did not clear it out. Thurston keeps it in. We're inside the final minute of the second. A shot from Thurston knocked down by Wick. Now here's Thurston again. Puck jabbed away. And then Michael Datillo knocked the stick out of Josh Yurievich's hand. Clearing attempt held in at the left point. No, it did just go over the blue line. It did just go over the blue line and was sent back in and touched up offside by Thurston. 33.8 seconds left in the second still. 4-1 Franklin. Drawing it out in front of the Franklin bench, won by the Admirals. Quinn Loesch brings it into the NBA zone on the right wing side. McLean Butters trying to put it in front, but Hudson Richards' shot was blocked by the stick of Zach Rankin. Puck was carried to center by the Big Red, taken back by the Admirals. Here's Richards, left wing side of the NBA zone. Behind the net, put it out in front, a one-timer from Butters. McLean Butters stopped by Wick. And time is going to run out on the second. The Big Reds scored twice in the second. Ethan Moore with a goal that looked like it deflected off of Franklin sticking in. And then Lee Guy, 4 seconds into a power play, scoring his second of the game, and the Big Red have a 4-1 lead on Franklin at the end of 2 in the Preds Cup 4-5 first round game. Ready to go with the start of the third period. Hunter Wick still in goal for NBA. Grayson Butter still in goal for Franklin for this third period. NBA will carry the puck towards me. Franklin will carry it away from me. Again, it's a playoff game. If Franklin come back, tie the game, and we finish regulation tied, it's off to a 5-minute 3-on-3 sudden victory OT. And if that can't solve it, a shootout that must go, or a best of 3 round shootout, I should say. And Franklin called for offside, bringing the puck into the NBA zone. That takes the first 25 seconds off the clock. Franklin, here's Earl McGrady, shot, pass, cross, score! Hank Hayes, standing in the right-hand side of the net, knocks it in. Franklin get a desperately needed goal to cut the lead to 2, or cut the margin to 2. Takes them 36 seconds of the period to get it. 4-2 NBA with 13:24 left in regulation. Draw one by Franklin. Here's Cale Lewis into the NBA zone, around the back of the net. Put it out in front. Hudson Richards holds it in. Big Red take it and carry it out. Trace Graham dumps it into the into the Franklin zone. Here's Gavin Akers out to center. Falls to his knees, but gets right back up and passes the puck over to McLean Butters, left wing side of the NBA zone. Puck cleared out again by the Big Red. Now Gavin Akers inside his own zone. Stands behind his own net. Exits. Maneuvers past Matthew Moore. He's out at center. Akers into the NBA zone on the left wing side, taking a shot over the net. Now back the other way comes Abe Lasher. Lasher right wing side of the Franklin zone. Rounded defender. Oh, but he tried to stop at the bottom of the right circle. Akers came away. Passes ahead to Casper Thurston, who backhands it out. Sent back the other way by the Big Red. It's back in the Franklin zone, but the Admirals immediately clear it out. Lewis, right wing side of the NBA end. Can't maneuver around a defender to try and get to the front of the net. Now back the other way comes Ethan Moore. Ethan Moore into the Franklin zone, knocked down on the slot by Cale Lewis. Back the other way goes Butters. Now Hudson Richards, right wing side of the NBA zone. Trying to put it out in front for Cole Pointer, but that was broken up. Puck passed out to center for Quinn Spencer, so Franklin have to get back on side. They're changing some of the line. Sent ahead to Pointer by Spencer. He deflects it back into the back into the NBA zone. Puck behind the net. Big Red come up with it. Quinn Spencer from behind his own net. Carried into the NBA zone, and it tapped off his stick on the right wing side, but Aiden Murphy jumps in to keep it alive. Pointer trying to pass it to the slot, went off an NBA sticking out. Chase Wagers sends it back into the Big Red zone, and it's going to be iced by NBA. 10:16 left in regulation, 4-2, NBA leading. Always to the left of Wick. NBA win it, bring it out. Andrew Fretch passing across to Trace Graham. Graham dumps it behind the net. Fretch puts it out in front, but it's intercepted by Grant Hayes. That's back in the Big Red zone. Michael Datillo, left wing corner. Clearing attempt held in by Gavin Akers on the left wing side. Akers tried to shoot. He whiffed on it. An NBA player poked it away from him. Here come the Big Red the other way. Graham Rudder dumps it into the Franklin zone, takes a hit. Akers behind his own net. Stretch passing up the near side, hopped over the stick of Quinn Lowe, shout to center. Brought back in on the right wing side. Trace Graham round a defender, but he got pushed away from the puck. Puts it out in front, intercepted by Will McCormick. He had Fretch out in front. Now it's out at center. Abe Lasher. Trace Graham brings it back into the left wing side. Went into the skates of Houston Vale and down low. Puck behind the net. Akers trying to put it out in front. Hank Hayes out at center, left wing side. Dumps it into the NBA zone, cross corner dump in. And Houston Vale tried to put it in front. It went off the stick, I think, of Abe Lasher and into the netting above the glass. 8:36 left in regulation, still 4-2 NBA. They're going to say it was a Franklin stick. They're going to say it was Vale who ended up knocking it out of play. So draw on the dot in front of the NBA bench. One of the Big Red. It's in the Franklin zone, but Admirals are going to bring it out. Will McCormick, left wing side of the NBA zone, a shot gloved and held on to by Wick. Draws to Wick's right, won by NBA. It's in the Franklin zone. Hudson Richards with it. Richards spins away from Duke Dalba. Richards passes ahead to Casper Thurston, who leaves it for Richards. Left wing side of the NBA zone. Richards shot gloved and held onto by Wick. 7:46 to go. Still 4-2 NBA. NBA bring the puck into the Franklin zone. Matthew Moore to the front of the net. Shots turned away by Butters. Grayson Butters at the right-hand side. I think it's the first shot on goal of the period for NBA. Now Hudson Richards back the other way. Right wing side of the Franklin zone. Try to pass to the slot. Puck out in front of the net. Now it's behind the net. Richards moving it along the inboards. Comes out to the right wing side. Now he decides to spin back the other way. It's out on the near side. Big Red with it. And they clear. It's back in the Franklin zone. Cale Lewis kicks it over to Gavin Akers. Stretch pass up the near side to Thirst. And then it comes all the way back to Akers inside the zone. Now Cale Lewis out at center. Brings it into the NBA zone on the right wing side. Has it taken away and cleared out. McLean Butters. Now left wing side of the NBA zone. Tried to drive. I think he was trying to pass it up to the left point, but he whiffed on it. Now the puck back in the Franklin end. Andrew Fretch passing it over to Trace Graham, who falls over after contact with Gavin Akers, and then Quinn Spencer's clearing attempt ends up going into the netting above the glass. Oh, shot from the right point off the draw to the left of Butters, and Datillo just missed the net to the left of Butters. Actually caught the side netting. Right the way come Franklin, and a shot from in tight end to be saved by Wick. Now here's Lee Guy out at center. Guy into the Franklin zone on the right wing side. A shot stopped by Grayson Butters. He knocks it away over to Aiden Murphy. Franklin ended up icing the puck. 5:41 to go in regulation, still 4-2 NBA. Draws to the left of Butters. Won by NBA, a shot blocked right away. Here's Grant Hayes passing it ahead to Quinn Loesch. Loesch, left wing side of the NBA zone, shot that Wicked to fight off with his right shoulder and trying to stuff it into the right-hand side of the net. I think it was Hank Hayes. Stopped and covered up by Wick. Puck in the Franklin zone. Here's Gavin Akers. Passing ahead to Owen McGroarty. It's back in the NBA end. Behind the net, sent around the wall to the far side. It's cleared out. It's back in the NBA zone with a big red control. Pass ahead off the stick of Ethan Moore at center. It's in the Franklin end. Duke Dalba, right wing side. Backhands it to the end boards. Cale Lewis. Passing it ahead to Quick out at center. Left wing side of the NBA zone. Loesch trying to go to the front of the net. It's up a shot. Stopped by Wick. Oh, and somehow Owen McGroarty couldn't put in the rebound with the left-hand side of the net open. Wick comes up big and keeps it a 4-2 lead for NBA with 4:38 left in regulation. Zamboni issues are causing a delay to the start of the Hendersonville Centennial game, the 2-7 game in the Hine Cup. Draws to Hunter Wicks right. Won by the Big Red. Puck sent around the wall and carried out. Here's Matthew Moore at center. Into the Franklin zone. Right wing side is shot blocked by the back checking Akers. Puck ends up loose and carried out by Hudson Richards. Richards into the NBA zone on the right wing side. A shot turned away by Wick with a right leg pad. And there's going to be a penalty against NBA, I think. Yeah. Grayson Butters, I thought they're pulling him already. It's a little early for that. Nope. It's going to be a penalty. No, it's Richards going to the box. Richards going to the box for Franklin. Oh, and Richards is being kicked out of the game, so whatever he said, good enough to get him kicked out. Houston Vale will sit in the box in his place. So Richards, who scored the goal that made it 1-1 late in the first, hitting the showers early. So NBA back on the power play, up 4-2 with 4:05 to go. Draw to the right of Butters. Grayson Butters. Won by NBA, but immediately given away to Franklin. McLean Butters out at center. Pushes it into the NBA zone. Try to go to the front of the net. NBA back checker knocked the puck away. Puck sent back into the Franklin zone, caught up to by Gavin Akers. Akers, stopped behind his own net, and James Lehrman almost swiped the puck away, and Akers is to fire it ahead to Thurston. Now here's McLean Butters. Back into the NBA zone, trying to leave it for Thurston, but somebody came in from behind and took it away. Here's Trace Graham. Now James Lehrman in the Franklin zone out high, shoots it over the net from the high slot. Thurston behind his own net, trying to keep it away from Lehrman. Taps it over to the far boards. Edwin Bass with it. Up to the left point, Datillo passes down low to Thurston. Passes ahead to Butters, who's on the right wing side of the Franklin zone, the NBA zone. Under a minute left in the power play for NBA. And icing called against the Big Red as they clear it down ice. 52 seconds left of the power play, 2:56 to go in regulation. The Big Red still up 4-2. NBA win the draw to Wicks left, and they bring it out to center. Ethan Moore shot right as he crosses the blue line, turned away by Grayson Butters. Duke Dalba behind the net, tried to put it out in front. Oh, and it actually floated over the shoulder of Butters from behind the net. Luckily for him, Andrew Fretch couldn't get there. Puck out at center, under 30 seconds left in the power play. Ethan Moore. And it taken away, Quinn Spencer behind the net. Backhands it around to the far side. Puck still in the zone, though, going down towards the left wing corner, Andrew Fretch. And it pushed away by Quinn Spencer. Penalty time against Franklin is up. They're back at even strength. And a shot from center was gloved and dropped by Butters. I think it may have come from Fretch. Stretch pass up the near side of Brandon Mills. Hands it over to Cole Pointer. Pointer tried to tap it over to Mills, who got knocked down. The puck out at center. Oh, and Matthew Moore taking a spill on a hit from, I think it's Mills. Puck back deep in the Franklin zone. Mills on the near side. Now here's Mills, left wing side of the NBA zone. Fires it across the front of the net. I think it may have gone off the stick of Wick and out of play. 74 seconds left in regulation. Still 4-2 NBA. And I am quite surprised that Grayson Butters is still in the crease. So it looks like Franklin are headed for the losers bracket on night one, round one. Draw to the right of Wick. Puck out at center, and McLean Butters had it tapped off his stick. Here's Lee Guy in the Franklin zone. Final minute of regulation. Backhands it off to Trace Graham, who shoots it wide to the net, wide of the net to the left of Grayson Butters. Now here's Casper Thurston out at center. Right wing side of the NBA zone. A shot blockered away by Wick. Clearing attempt held in at the left point by Lewis. Pass across. Thurston's shot misses the net. The top of the right circle. And errant pass goes all the way back into the Franklin zone under 30 seconds left. Here is Gavin Akers. Akers steps out to center. Back in the NBA zone on the right wing side. Trying to put it in front. Here's Will McCormick out high. His shot blocked. McCormick with it again. Another shot. Gloved and held on to by Wick. 11.7 seconds to go. So NBA are going to win this one. And next Wednesday night, they will be playing next Wednesday night at 8:40 on Rink 8 at Centennial. They will play the winner of the game between Ravenwood and Summit that takes place tomorrow at 5 o'clock over on the South Rink here in Antioch. Draw to the left of Wick, won by NBA. Puck out at center. And the Big Red, the GNASH Cup winners, open up the Preds Cup with a 4-2 win over Franklin. And Franklin are in a late season funk, and it is carried over to the playoffs. Lucky for them, they'll probably get Ravenwood on Monday in the first elimination game in the Hein Cup or the Preds Cup. As someone finally, the third game of the season between these two teams, and someone finally won one, and it was NBA. First, the two regular season meetings ended in ties. NBA won the third meeting, which was in the playoffs. So the goals in this one for Franklin, the goals were scored by Hudson Richards and Hank Hayes. For NBA, 2 goals for Lee Guy, and the others came from Michael DeTillo and Ethan Moore. Hunter Wick made 31 saves on 33 shots. Grayson Butters 18 on 42, but NBA were up by 2 or up by 3 at the end of 2. So I'm going to give Lee Guy player of the game because they didn't really need to ask Hunter to bail him out tonight. Lee Guy took care of it for him. So drop Franklin into the losers bracket. They will take on the Ravenwood Summit loser on Monday at 8:25 in Bellevue. Move NBA into the winners bracket semifinals next Wednesday night at 8:40 on Rink 8 at Centennial. They'll take on the Ravenwood Summit loser. Their chance to get revenge. Maybe on the Spartans if the Spartans win tomorrow. And move closer to winning the Predators Cup for a second time. So a good win to start the Preds Cup for J.P. Dumont and the Big Red. 2 nights after winning the GNASH Cup for the 5th time in program history. Now it's time to take a break, and we'll be back at 9:10 for coverage of the 3-6 game in the Henry Hine Cup. Station Camp Liberty Creek taking on the Tennessee Outlaws. Again, the final score here in the 4-5 game in the Predators Cup. Montgomery Bell 4, Franklin 2. Outlaws and Station Camp coming up at 9:10.